Over the weekend, Diablo 4 lead class designer Adam Jackson tweeted about what the rarest uniques in the game are and how to get them. There are 6 of them, including Harlequin Crest and the Grandfather, and Adam mentions that the biggest hurdle to getting them are enemies need to be at least level 85. Otherwise, you can get them anywhere else. You can get a unique item, they always drop at an 820 item power, and they are really rare. Since this was posted, people have been trying to figure out the most efficient ways to get this, and doing some Nightmare Dungeon math, we learned that tier 31 is the sweet spot where the monsters are level 85. The math here is monster level equals 50 plus world tier level plus dungeon tier. So we know that the monster level is 85, bring the 50 over to make it 35. If a Nightmare Dungeon is tier 20 or more, it is automatically on world tier 4, so we can bring the 4 over to the other side, which gives us 31, equaling the Nightmare Dungeon for monster level 85. Too long didn't math equals you want to be on at least tier 31 Nightmare Dungeons if you want these items. Here we have 2 different pictures from Nearby Pop 9222 and Cozen Poppy on Reddit showing efficient ways of farming for the rare uniques through fighting specific enemy types. It has been discovered that certain enemies have a higher probability of dropping specific items. So for example, cultists dropping daggers and helms, or ghosts dropping bows and wands. So say we really want the Harlequin Crest, the Shaco, that gives us +4 to all stats. Since it's a helm, we want to focus on cannibals and cultists, so we can look at the other picture here and see that we want to farm Earthen Wound and Cultist Refuge. As a side note, Andariel's Visage is also a helm, so the same dungeons to farm apply here. Maxroll also has a tier list for Nightmare Dungeons depending on if you're solo, in a group, glyph leveling, or completing level 80 plus tier dungeons. S rank being the best and D or F tier being the worst. The ranking of each dungeon is calculated by monster and elite density, how much backtracking is required in the dungeon, and how long it takes to get to the dungeon from the nearest waypoint. If we're focused on going for the Grandfather, we want to focus on killing spiders and vampires. This takes us to the Blind Burrows, Abandoned Mineworks, and Core Dragon's Barracks. Just remember to check the links in the descriptions for the most up-to-date information, since Blizzard has been nerfing specific dungeons like crazy in this first month of the game being out. Lastly, rings and amulets seem to have a flat drop rate across the board depending on enemy type, so as of right now with the information we have, there is no better dungeon to farm for specific jewelry. If this video saved you 10 minutes of your time from a separate click, consider subscribing to stay up to date on all future videos. Talk to you soon.